Jimin's mother cries. Jungkook reveals Jimin was ill during reunion with Jin. Park Jimin's pale face, a BTS member, clearly visible despite being covered by multiple medical masks, became an unavoidable source of panic behind the fanfare of the Runseekjin_EP tour concert on June 30th, 2025 at Goyang Stadium. Amidst the cheers of the audience and spotlights shining on the stage, one scene not captured by public cameras left deep anxiety. Jimin appeared weak, barely able to stand upright, and required Jungkook's help when leaving the VIP area after the concert ended. Moments after the concert concluded with Jin's emotional performance, the backstage atmosphere changed drastically. A middle-aged woman, later identified as Jimin's biological mother, was seen crying silently, bowing her head in a corner of the staff room, her body trembling. Some crew on site tried to move internal cameras away from the area. No open statement, no clarification, only panicked expressions and quick steps from staff confirming that Jimin's condition was not trivial. The incident began when Jimin, Jungkook, and Suga attended as guests on the second day of Jin's concert. The three arrived under tight security, wearing casual clothes and medical masks. However, from their arrival, several observers nearby noticed something unusual about Jimin's body movement. He walked slower than usual, paused several times to lean on railings or Jungkook's arm. His facial expression didn't show the usual enthusiasm or smile he shared with the public. His droopy eyes were half closed, and his steps heavy. According to an internal source who declined to be named, Jimin's condition had been known by the other members several days before. But he insisted on coming to support Jin, the first BTS member to hold a concert post-military service. Jimin reportedly didn't want to miss the moment, even though he was in physically unstable condition. Jungkook, who usually keeps his distance from the media since taking a break from public activities, appeared highly protective of Jimin that night. Several times he was seen whispering to Jimin, checking his body temperature by touching his neck and forehead, and occasionally scolding medical staff who were slow to respond to emergency calls backstage. Tension peaked when the event ended and the audience began leaving the stadium. Jimin, who sat during nearly the entire concert, seemed to lose balance when trying to stand. Jungkook swiftly supported him, while Suga requested a wheelchair from the security crew. Surveillance cameras showed Jimin being taken to the emergency care room provided by the promoter in the stadium's underground area, and minutes later, Jimin's mother was seen rushing toward the room with teary eyes. The woman's sobs were eventually heard by several technical crew members in the hallway, and according to eyewitnesses, the sentence she kept repeating was, "I told you not to come if you haven't recovered." Instantly, the room fell silent. No one dared to ask questions. No one picked up the phone. All attention was focused on one thing: Jimin's condition was not good. The next day, Jungkook finally made a limited confession in a closed fan community broadcast. In a serious tone and visibly teary-eyed, Jungkook stated that Jimin had been going through tough months, and that night, his presence was both a sign of respect and sacrifice. "He's not okay, but he still came for Jin Hyun. I couldn't let him be alone," he said briefly, without elaborating further. Information circulating in closed circles stated that Jimin is undergoing treatment for an immune system disorder affecting his body's metabolism. This condition causes fatigue, loss of appetite, and irregular body temperature regulation. His pale face and weakened steps that night weren't due to normal exhaustion but symptoms of a medical issue ongoing since early this year. Although there has been no official statement from management, internal sources noted that Jimin's decision to appear in public that night was opposed by his family, especially his mother. Regret and emotion merged in her uncontrollable tears in the narrow backstage hallway. Meanwhile, fans who learned the news through unofficial recordings and eyewitness narratives began flooding social media with concern and sympathy. Many regretted not realizing Jimin was clearly in pain throughout the concert. Several major fan bases held online prayer events, sent flower arrangements to the agency's office, and called for Jimin to be given full rest without public pressure. This incident also highlights the immense emotional and physical burden borne by K-pop idols, especially BTS members, who are continuously pressured by public expectations even in less than optimal conditions. The fact that Jimin still chose to attend his groupmate's concert, risking worsening his health, is a profound reflection of loyalty, personal responsibility, and solidarity among BTS members. Now, fans await further news regarding Jimin's condition. Many are demanding that the agency take concrete steps to ensure he receives the best medical care and protection from media and public pressure. As of this report, there has been no sign of activity from Jimin on social media. Jungkook, said to be the closest to Jimin at the moment, also chose not to return to the public eye. But one thing is clear, that reunion night, meant to be a celebration of Jin's return to the stage, turned into a moment of deep concern over the condition of one of BTS's most beloved members, with a pale face, weak steps, and a mother's tears accompanying him. That night became a harsh reminder that behind the spotlight and millions of fans, these idols are still human. And when a Jimin is seen powerless, the whole world falls silent. Visuals of Jimin's pale face, weakened body, and a crying woman believed to be his mother have become viral content on TikTok, Twitter, now X, YouTube, and several online forums. But to this day, there has been no direct confirmation from Jimin or his agency about the rumored medical condition. No written statement, no clarification video, no official hospital report, and no verifiable medical documentation. Thus, the public is faced with a real epistemological dilemma. Is this information valid or merely a speculative construction? Most circulating narratives now come from amateur videos, anonymous testimonies, and image snippets claimed to be taken backstage at the concert. Many also include emotional quotes attributed to Jimin's mother, including a statement said to be, "I told you not to come if you haven't recovered." However, there's no voice recording, no confirmed visual identification, and no witness willing to come forward publicly to affirm the truth. So the question we should be asking is, who first spread this narrative? For what purpose? And is the public merely a tool for consuming emotional content shaped to attract attention? It is important to note that in today's digital information landscape, a moment can be turned into a narrative, and a narrative can be modified to serve certain interests. The story of Jimin's health, especially when tied to his mother's tears, carries immense emotional appeal. It triggers sympathy, creates empathy, and prompts active public engagement. But at the same time, such narratives can also be manipulative tools that exploit collective emotion for the sake of virality. Are we being deceived by algorithms, or are we witnessing a bitter reality hidden behind the silence of the officials? Why has no official representative given an explanation, even just to reassure the public? Or is it that there is no explanation to give because the event itself never truly happened? In public logic, a mother's tears are a powerful symbol of suffering. When someone is said to be Jimin's mother and is crying over her sick child, society immediately responds with compassion, as if it's undeniable proof that something bad is happening. But has the woman's identity been verified? Is there confirmation that her tears are truly related to Jimin's condition? If not, why do we, the public, instantly believe it? Are we too easily swayed by emotionally charged mass narratives? Furthermore, is it true that Jimin is ill? Or was his weak appearance and pale face that night just normal fatigue, exaggerated by social media? Jungkook was indeed seen closely accompanying him, but does that automatically mean Jimin was in a medical emergency? What if it was merely normal concern between longtime friends? Have we, perhaps unconsciously, reinterpreted the moment into a dramatic narrative that lacks foundation? No one denies that amateur videos from the concert showed Jimin looking unwell. But without medical records, without direct confession, and without clear statements from the family or the person involved, the public must remain critical. We cannot and should not draw conclusions based on ambiguous visual fragments, especially when such narratives are spread virally without confirmation. We emphasize that the information currently circulating comes from unofficial sources, including social media and unverifiable anonymous testimonies. Videos, photos, and statement excerpts used as primary evidence lack journalistic legality or accountability. Therefore, we urge all readers not to immediately believe everything appearing on your timeline without prior verification. Are you truly sure that Jimin is seriously ill? Do you truly believe that the woman crying that night was his mother? Or is this possibly just a visual construct manipulated by viral intentions and public attention? If so, who is responsible for spreading the information? And why has no one dared to give an open clarification?